All right. Let's talk about weekends. What do you usually do on your weekends?
Well, on my weekends, I really like to relax and do things that I don't have time for during the week. Often, I spend time with my friends. We might go out to eat something nice or just meet for a coffee and a chat. I also enjoy catching up on some reading or watching a good film. Do you prefer to spend your weekends at home or going out? Actually, it really depends on how I'm feeling and sometimes the weather. If I've had a very busy week, staying at home can be wonderful, just being quiet, maybe listening to music. But other times, especially if the sun is shining, I love to go out, perhaps visit a park or walk around a different part of the city. When did you last have a really enjoyable weekend? Oh, that would be just last weekend, as a matter of fact. On Saturday, I went to a small local market with a friend, which was very nice. We found some interesting things. Then on Sunday, I had a lovely, quiet day at home, did a bit of cooking, and just took it easy. It was very refreshing. Do you think it's important for people to make plans for their weekend? I think it can be good to have some ideas, yes, maybe one or two things you'd like to do, so the weekend doesn't just disappear. But I also believe it's important not to plan too much. It's nice to have some free time where you can just decide in the moment what you feel like doing, or even do nothing if you need to rest. How do you usually feel on a Sunday evening? Sunday evenings are a bit mixed for me. Part of me feels rested and happy from the weekend, but another part starts to think about the week ahead, about work or studies. So it's often a quiet, thoughtful kind of evening, preparing for Monday. All right, now I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. Here's your card, and here's some paper and a pencil. Cue card. Describe a memorable weekend you enjoyed. You should say where you went, who you were with, what you did, and explain why this weekend was memorable for you. You have 1 minute to prepare. Okay, remember you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please? Okay. So a weekend that I remember very well was a couple of months ago. I went to a small town by the sea, not too far from my city. It took about 2 hours by train to get there. I was with two of my close friends. We had been planning a little trip for a while, just to get away from our usual routines and spend some quality time together. During that weekend, we did quite a few simple but lovely things. On Saturday, after we arrived and found our small guest house, we went for a long walk along the beach. The sound of the waves was so calming. We collected some shells and just talked. Later, we found a nice little local restaurant and had some very fresh seafood, which was delicious. On Sunday, we explored the town a bit more. It had some cute little shops and old buildings. We also hired bicycles for a couple of hours and rode along a path by the coast. The views were really beautiful. This weekend was particularly memorable for me because it was so relaxing and uncomplicated. The weather was good, not too hot, just pleasant. Being with good friends, away from the noise of the city, really helped me to unwind. We laughed a lot and didn't worry about anything. It wasn't a fancy or expensive trip, but the simplicity of it, the good company, and the peaceful atmosphere made it stand out. I came back feeling very refreshed and happy. Thank you. Do you often go on short trips like that on weekends? I wish I could do it more often. I try to maybe once every few months if I can. We've been talking about a memorable weekend. Now I'd like to ask you some more general questions related to weekends. In what ways are weekends important for people in general? I believe weekends are extremely important. They give people a necessary break from work or study. It's a time to rest the mind and body, to recharge. People can pursue hobbies, spend time with family and friends, or simply do things that make them happy. This break is vital for reducing stress and maintaining a good balance in life. Do you think people in your country generally make good use of their weekends? That's an interesting question. I think it varies a lot from person to person. Many people do try to make the most of their weekends, perhaps by traveling, doing sports, or meeting up with others. But I also think that for some, life is very busy, and weekends might be the only time to catch up on sleep or do household chores. So good use can mean different things to different people. Sometimes just resting is the best use. How has the way people spend their weekends changed compared to, say, their parents' generation? I think there have been some quite big changes. For our parents' generation, weekends might have been more about family activities at home or very local outings. Now, with easier travel and more information online, people, especially younger people, might travel further or look for more diverse experiences. Also, technology plays a bigger role. People might spend time online.
All right.
Gaming, or connecting with friends virtually, which wasn't as common before. However, some things, like spending time with loved ones, probably remain just as important.
Some people say that because of technology, the line between work time and weekend time is becoming less clear. What do you think about that?
I think that's definitely true for many people. With smartphones and laptops, it's very easy for work to follow us home, even on weekends. Emails can arrive at any time, and there can be a pressure to respond. While technology offers flexibility, it can also make it harder to truly switch off and enjoy the weekend. It requires more discipline, I think, to protect that personal time.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the speaking test.
Thank you.